Welcome to another This Week in Coworking Discussion.
What's one thing that you think the co-working world can learn from the European market?
Diversification, maybe. We are not a continent which is unified, as everybody knows. So there is so much difference between the countries. Extroverts, introverts. Katri was saying from Finland that, for instance, you go in the co-working space in Helsinki, you will sit to other people with whom you are not going to say words, most likely. Whereas you go to Spain, and people will speak with you, or in the US, will speak with you within a minute, something like that. So you have to take that into account when you consider what your co-working value proposition is. But anything, every city, we heard it again and again, every city is different, every ecosystem is different, every partner is different. You have to adapt and adjust, and especially for instance, the operators who have 10 or 15 locations in the country, so such as in Germany, they will tell you that Hamburg is not Bremen, which is not Munich, which is not Berlin. So you have to listen to your local crowds. You have to listen to everything that's happening. Even the real estate market is different. Even the age of the building is different. So anytime you have to reinvent yourself. Adam from Scott Weber in Prague was saying, yes, like a couple of years ago, or 5 years ago, it took me 6 months before I could open up a new location in terms of design it, make it a new concept. No, it's 2 years.
But on the flip side, what's something that you think the European operators might learn from other markets around the world, since you've been to recently Japan and been to the States frequently?
So standardization maybe can be one thing. It's easier to sell, it's easier to build. It's true that in Europe, but this due to Europe, we have a lot of national champions. We have, I don't think we have more than 3 or 4 international players, even within Europe.
Yeah.
So that makes things more difficult business-wise because it's harder to scale. Okay, Germany is a big country, because you can still scale very much in Germany if you're only in Germany, or same as France. And we see other city, regional capitals where operators are going nowadays, and they see the growth being maybe stronger in these cities than they are in the usual suspect cities such as Paris or Berlin. But yeah, maybe that's more ambition. If you're an American operator, you have access to a market, a seamless market of more than 300 million people. So here we are maybe a little bit reluctant to see beyond our borders. So hard to create real big champions if you stay within your borders.
Yeah.
I would pick those 2 elements.
As someone who's been studying and researching the industry for over 15 years now, what's something that you've been fascinated by in the change of the business model? What changes are you seeing?
So when we started, the record number of people we had was 600, was in Amsterdam before COVID, but maybe the average size of the space was 30 desks. Now we have 500 people this year in Berlin, 6 years later, and the average size might be 200 desks, 300 desks, 1,000 desks. I think it's reflective of how the industry has been moving since then. It's more professional, but something which was really clear is that you have to build your value proposition beyond the desk, for sure. We heard example of creation of clubs, creation of new services. So at the end of the day, also something which was really important is you see more and more co-working space being integrated in multi-services facilities. So of course with F&B, even gym, and this makes the whole environment way more appealing, especially when you have to convince the people to come back to the office. So you are not speaking so much about an office, but about an environment with a lot of services, an opportunity to socialize, but also enjoy where you are.
Yeah, I love it. As the business models have evolved and the offerings have evolved, technology also has. There's always a lot of people from the tech side that come to these conferences.
Yeah.
What do you think are some of the biggest impacts that technology is making now and in the next 5 and 10 years?
Yeah, for instance, we have a panel about fractional office or fractional products in the way that, okay, how can you monetize the inventories that are underused on a Monday or Friday, for instance. If you experience it, often go to my co-working space on a Friday and it's half empty. So it's their capacity which is underused. So now you have some technologies, you have some platform, you have some service allowing you to manage this in a better way, to rethink your inventory, to fragment it and be Another word we heard a lot towards over those 2 days was customization and go deeper, deeper, deeper in customizing the offering and service. So that's part of the story. And you can only do it if you have the right tools and the right technology to offer it.
There's a lot of talk I find at this conference about different types of government programs, government initiatives. Are you currently finding regulatory support helpful or more kind of a hindrance in operators being able to grow?
It depends. In Europe, it's a very, very important topic. The European Commission was involved in that. You have the anti-money laundering schemes and legal framework. It was really something critical for operators. So if they wanted to offer the virtual office product, in many countries, also thanks to the involvement of local association, co-working association or business center association, they could speak with the authorities to say, okay, we need to create a proper framework for them. And thanks to that, you have now co-working operators. I can speak from the Belgian perspective where I live, but also in Holland or in Switzerland, places like that. Due to the fact that you have a secure legal framework, this has been a big opportunity for the co-working operators to double down on this service now. So because it's secure, and this is a kind of perfect collaboration I would see with authorities. On the downside, I still think government shouldn't be involved in offering co-working themselves. They are breaking the market. They are hurting the private operators, those who are taking risks. They are really bad in the service, and especially if you're in Europe, you still have too many of those initiatives mainly by local governments that are not good. They should support the existing offering and promote it and help it to grow and not be involved with that. Even if it's politically easy to be associated with something you somehow fund it or own, but at the end of the day, it's a waste of money, time, and it's not helping your ecosystem.
In looking out to 2026, what do you foresee being the big thing next year?
I think we have a big challenge ahead of us as an industry. We really have to work on changing the perception co-working has. We have a big issue with the 20 different terms that is used to describe what anybody is doing. We need to agree on the wording to coordinate on that because we are eating a glass ceiling. We need to speak up to the outsiders and to really say, okay, we mean something, which is not just for the small freelancer and the small startup. It's changing the whole workspace concept at the time of hybrid working, at the time where you have low occupancy in former building, at the time of hyperinflation. So we are a solution for many different problems, but we are still very bad with respect to the communication we offer and the ability to speak with one voice.
Brought to you by Syncaroo. Connect your stack and unblock your best people.